Welcome to the Double R Show, the podcast that features everything about North Lincoln County. The Double R Show, directed and produced by Paul Robertson and hosted by the voice of Lincoln City, Roger Robertson.
Welcome to the Double R Show, Double R, along with son Paul, and today we'll have an opportunity to talk about an upcoming event, but one of the other big events this weekend kicks off is the Slits Bay Music Festival.
Right, yeah, we had those folks on last week, I think it was,
correct.
And of course the music is migrating in, as I think the title of the program was, and I look forward to hearing a lot more about that.
And it kicks off tonight, my mother's birthday.
Happy birthday, Grandma.
We'll be back right after this.
Home-style cooking in a hometown atmosphere. Hi, I'm Adina from Zeller's Restaurant in Rose Lodge in Lincoln City. Join us daily for good fun and great food. You can even kick up your heels at Zeller's.
The wild-eyed Southern boys are back. 38 Special. Rocking into the night. Saturday, September 6th, Chinook Winds Casino Resort. Get tickets now at ChinookWinds.com, Chinook Winds box office, or by phone at 1-888-MAIN-ACT. Don't miss 38 Special, live. Chinook Winds, where concerts are better at the beach.
You'll find a book for every occasion at Bob's Beach Books. Something to read as you relax by an open fire? We have it. Studying a particular topic? We have that too. Traveling to a far-off land? Discover it first by reading. Bob's Beach Books in the Ocean Lake area of Lincoln City? Come discover.
On the Double R Show, we have Jeff Fleming, and Jeff is with Second Home. Second Home is what, Jeff?
Well, I can tell you, first and foremost, it has nothing to do with real estate.
Okay.
What we try to do is we're a nonprofit program. So what we do is we're a home sharing program. We aim to connect unaccompanied teen students experiencing homelessness with host home providers, people in the community who can offer them room and board so the students can stay in school, realize their gifts and potential, graduate high school, and go on to accomplish their goals in life.
That's rather a formidable program.
Yeah, well, it's proven successful. It was launched back in 2010 in Beaverton, and it has been successful since then. We have just recently, well, I shouldn't say recently, February of last year, we launched Second Home in Lincoln County. The reason being is that there's a lot of homeless youth here in Lincoln County. Yes.
More than you would expect?
More than you would expect, yes. I didn't even know we had homeless youth until I started helping out with Second Home. And most people who I've talked to, where I say, hey, you know, there is homeless youth here, they are absolutely aghast. They're surprised because you don't really see them. It's not like they're on the corner holding up signs. They kind of fly under the radar. The term that you may hear kind of going back and forth is called couch surfing.
Right.
Is where they stay wherever they can sleep. So you don't see them, you know, but they are there. We work with the Lincoln County School District. They actually identify students who are experiencing unstable housing. And if they identify a student who is experiencing unstable housing, they can potentially refer them to us if they meet the criteria for our program.
So if a family wants to become involved in the program, they've got to have some qualifications, some type of training, something, correct?
So the first thing we look for is just if they're able to provide room and board.
Okay.
Food and shelter. That's it. That's all we ask from our host home providers. Do you have an extra room? Do you have extra food? Can you provide that for our student? If the answer is yes, we go on to a pretty thorough, detailed application process where we interview them, we do background checks, we put them through certain trainings. The whole thing takes about a month to a month and a half to see if they actually are qualified for our program.
I would think you would do all of the background checks simply for the protection of the student and the family.
Yes, we do. You know, I work with students, so I had to be background checked through our program. Everyone who is involved with Second Home has to go through a background check system, yes. And so we do that, and some people have, you know, a background, they have something that may come up, but that doesn't necessarily disqualify them to be a home host provider in our program. It kind of depends on the circumstances, but we do actually run a background check on everyone involved in our program.
Sure. Now, tell me what I, as a potential, it wouldn't be parent,
We don't ask our hosts to be parents. We don't even actually use the word parenting unless it's in the context of we don't want you to be a parent.
We don't want you
to be a parent. So our hosts are not parents. What I tell people is usually you're providing the material needs of a parent, not the emotional needs of a parent. So in other words, material needs of a parent, room and board, food and shelter. That's all we're asking for. And a potentially positive presence. Sometimes we have students who want to just be left alone. They're very introverted. They're very shy. They just want to be left alone. Other students in our program, they want a more interactive environment. So we match up a student with the right home host provider based on their lifestyle, their temperaments, all that stuff. If they both feel like they would be a good match for each other, then we proceed cautiously. Yeah.
I would think it would be difficult for me, if I was into the program, to not try to assume that parenting role.
It's difficult. It is very difficult. And I'm speaking from a parent because I'm a parent. You bring those expectations, and it's very difficult to get out of that role of parenting. But, we offer continued support in our program. We sit down with the home host provider and the student, and we go through what's called a mediation process, where we clearly establish home chores, house expectations, boundaries, right? And
so we're just not coming into the household blind.
That's correct. Okay. Yeah. We set everyone up for success to the best of our ability. And so getting back to mediation, so we have the student and the home host provider interview each other maybe 2 or 3 times. If they feel like it's a good match, we proceed cautiously. If they don't feel like it's a good match, we don't proceed. So we don't force anything. So if they feel like it's a good match, then we go through what's called mediation. And in this case, mediation is basically just to fill out the contract, the rental contract, and the house expectations, and again, boundaries. So they both are very clear going into this home sharing situation, what to expect, and the boundaries, not to cross certain boundaries and such. And they both sign off on those contracts. And again, that basically sets everyone up for success. And if there's ever an issue where either the student or the home provider feels like there's a boundary crossed, then we we actually offer support to see if we can overcome that boundary crossing, if you will. And then if it keeps on happening, we go back to mediation, revisit those contracts, and see if they need to be renegotiated or just reminded of, hey, these are the boundaries that we set. We can't cross those. And that rarely ever happens.
So if a family wants to become involved in the program, what do they do?
The first step is they can contact me, and I can give you my information.
Please.
And then they would contact me, and then we would just talk for a little bit just to see if they would be right for our program, see if they have the right home, see if they're willing to incur those expenses for food, to see if they're kind of close to one of the 4 high schools in our county. And then if everything kind of works out at that point during the initial talk, then they would go onto our website and fill out the application. So my contact information is, my phone number is 925-726-9540. That's my direct line, my direct cell. Again, that's 925-726-9540. Or my email, jfleming@emoregon.org. So that's jfleming @emoregon.org. So you can call me, you can email me for more information, and we can just chat over the phone for 5 or 10 minutes just to see if they're right for our program, and just to realize the expectations of our program, just moving forward.
Zantello Law Group has moved. I'm Josh Zantello, and our law firm is now located across from the Lincoln City Community Center on Northeast 21st. Our law firm of knowledgeable professionals stand ready to assist you in life's matters.
Northwest Septic Service is your one-stop shop for all your septic needs.
Northwest Septic Service offers pumping, maintenance, repair, and inspections with one call, 541-994-6977.
Buying or selling a home? Northwest Septic Service can inspect your sewer line or an entire septic system.
Old or failing septic system? Northwest Septic Service can rejuvenate most drain fields, saving you thousands of dollars. 541-994-6977.
Serving Lincoln, Tillamook, and Yamhill counties, Northwest Septic Service.
We at La Roca are proud of our food, but don't take our word for it. Read the reviews. One person wrote, "The service was friendly and efficient." Another writes, "La Roca has become one of our favorites because it's authentic Mexican food."
26 years ago, an organization was formed in North Lincoln County to help people with immediate and basic needs. With us is one of the founders of Angels Anonymous, Mike Holden. Welcome aboard.
Welcome to you too, co-founder.
It has been an interesting journey, has it not, Mike?
It has been an interesting journey, one that we started, had a great idea, and then someone asked a dumb question, how are we going to fund this stuff?
And that is a rather significant question.
We thought so. And fortunately, Jim Davis, another founder, brought an idea with him from where he's from, and that's the beginning of the Angel Ball and the Fantasy of Trees. But without the casino, we wouldn't be here today probably.
We'd be out of luck.
We would be.
Because not only do they host and provide the space for us for Fantasy of the Trees and the Angel Ball, the event coming up this weekend is really in their back door.
I think it's next weekend.
Or next weekend, rather. Yeah, next weekend with the car show.
It's one I absolutely hate to work.
Yeah, I know. You just really don't like cars.
No, I don't.
And pickups and motorcycles.
Well, yeah, there's that too. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Surf City. That's one of the people who's on the board now, Scott. It was his idea, actually, to bring in a car show and then as taking the money and giving it to a nonprofit, and he selected us. And that's been that way for 20 years at least.
Now, Angels Anonymous receives the money of what?
Receives the money from the registration and any raffle ticket sales. And Sound Off is the big one. That's the second day, the Sunday, where I think the noise, it's rather obnoxious noise, but they seem to think it's a great loud music.
It is loud. It is a lot of noise, but it is a lot of money.
It is. And all of that is collected, and then we will get a check for that after everything's tallied up. But it's with that, again, the casino, that's just one more fundraiser. Two of the main fundraisers we have are casino involved, and without their hospitality and generosity, we wouldn't be around. You
also serve on another committee that doles out thousands and, millions now.
The Let's Tribal Charitable Contribution Fund Committee. We're over 19 million.
And you have chaired that for some time.
3 or 4 years, yeah. I don't think anyone else wants it.
And the money there, Mike, again, comes out of the casino indirectly, correct?
Correct. It's a percentage of gaming, not all the operation, but just a percentage of gaming is put into this fund. And that's as a result of negotiations between the tribe and state of Oregon and what's called the Tribal State Gaming Compact. And the agreed upon formulas in there. And the money we put out in 2025 is 2023 money. It takes that long for the money to come in and everything, the books all to be cleared. So this last quarter, we just had last week, we had the distribution.
And who can apply?
Anybody can apply. They have to be in the 11 counties. It's on the website, ctsi.nsn.us/, you can put in Contribution Fund Committee. But anyway, you had the 11 counties were restricted to that county. And again, that's from the state compact. And there's also the categories in which you can apply for. And that's within those 11 counties, with the exception if it's a Native American entity anywhere in the United States, they can apply. And there has been money from this fund that has gone out of state to tribes.
But again, so people fully understand, any nonprofit does not have to be tribal as long as it's within the 11 counties.
Correct. Yeah.
An example of that would be food banks?
Food banks, that's a big share of it. A lot in education, historical preservation. It's just pretty broad spectrum there is what is covered. Well, when you have like 120 applications, that's over 700 pages at least of reading you do just to get ready for the meeting. And we only recommend to tribal council. Council can change however they want to on that, but they're usually pretty good about accepting our recommendations.
That's a lot of money that changes hands to help other people in the entire 11 counties.
Right. And we're going to see more, I think, with the food banks, with the federal government cutting way back on like USAID and some of the others. Pretty good sized drop, and they're already scrambling to find money. So I think we'll have to revisit this next quarter as to raise the dollar threshold probably on that amount we give to food banks.
Will you have had a cap on that?
Yes, we had a cap because we only have so many dollars.
Sure.
So we had to put a cap on some of it. The others, it just depends on what it is. Sometimes we'll recommend the whole thing, sometimes only partial funding. Depends how you write the grant.
Now, why is Mike Holden involved with Contribution Fund, Angels Anonymous up at the casino, Surf City up at the casinos? Why? Well, what's your tie into it, Mike?
You know, it's an interesting question. I guess my dad always helped people. And I think growing up with that attitude in the back of my brain, it may be one of the few things my dad taught me that I remember.
That you can repeat anyway.
Yeah, I can repeat. But it's just something that it's one of those feel-good times when you know you're helping somebody.
Okay.
I can't define it. It's just, that's what it is.
And then again, Surf City is cars.
Well, there is that mild thing. The year before last, we had a 1917 Model T come in. And
you cried.
That thing looked like it rolled off the showroom floor. He had to have traveled it down here because it only goes about 30 miles an hour. But it's beautiful. Some of the cars are just rare and some are, well, I lust after most of them, actually. But
And again, the car show, and we'll have Heather Hatton on here in a couple of minutes from Chinook Winds to talk about the car show itself and the Sound Off, which takes place not this weekend, next weekend.
Correct. 23rd and 24th.
Mike Holden from Angels Anonymous. And we'll be back. We'll talk with Heather about the car show right after this.
Wouldn't it be great to have all your insurance needs handled by one agency? This is Charlotte Lado with Farmers Insurance and the Insurance Store. Visit our office next to the Wildflower Grill in Lincoln City. Let us be your one stop for your personal, commercial, health, and Medicare insurance needs.
If you're looking for great early garden fresh produce, it's Kenny's IGA in the Bay Area of Lincoln City. 4 generations of Morgans caring for your every grocery need. All of your favorite beverages, a full deli, meat, produce, and of course, groceries. As we continue our discussions about Chinook Winds Casino Resort, joining us next, Heather Hatton from Chinook Winds Casino, along with Wednesday Reedy. Welcome, gals. Good to have you here.
Thank you.
We do want to talk a bit about Surf City Weekend. We had Mike Holden on prior to you coming on, talking about what it means as far as a fundraising event for the community. But what does Surf City mean to the casino?
You know, these signature events are really important to our branding out there. And like Celebration of Honor, Beach Pickin' and Brews, our anniversary fireworks, there's those events that, you know, put us on the map, so to speak, that differentiate us from a lot of the other communities. And I think that how we make it more special is attaching charitable opportunities to each of those. And so
almost every event you do is that way, right?
Yeah. I mean, I would say anniversary fireworks is probably the one that isn't.
Sure.
But what I will say about that is that whether it's on the same weekend as Kite Festival or it's not, it is an additional draw, which drives tourism traffic to our community, which only helps those businesses when Angels and Taft Boosters and Family Promise and Rotary and Kiwanis, they are going to those businesses and asking them for donations. What we can do is we drive traffic to help boost the revenue during this, all the months really. But so even if it's not attached to an event, you know, our sold out shows and some of our bigger events, they help bring additional revenue to businesses maybe on a slower weekend that they wouldn't be getting that.
Critically important.
Yeah. You know, we're filling hotel rooms, which in turn, because our hotel is sold out quite often. And so all those big events also, fill hotel rooms throughout the community, which what does that do? It increases the TLT to explore Lincoln City, which helps them promote the area. So and it's not just us. I mean, it's, if Beach Club is doing a big event, or, the Outlet Mall is a big draw, the glass blowing is a big draw. So all these, and I always say this whenever people are complaining about traffic in town, I always think, just think about what that's doing for the local businesses. It means money in their door, hopefully, and that will help when I'm coming by and asking to donate something to the booster auction.
And that's really critically important. Way too many of us fail to remember that those businesses that are contributing to support Taft High School, the churches, nonprofits, most of their revenue comes from people from outside of the area.
100%. And so when I see that, it's like, it takes some extra time to get to work, or to get to, like today,
or leave earlier.
Practice, leave earlier, and let somebody in line. I mean, today, just coming here, somebody kind of, it was probably young drivers. They were in the middle lane, in the turning lane. They decided, oh, I need to go further. And I was so annoyed. I'm like, what if they're not from here? And if they are, I will find out who their parents are. But so I just, be kind to them and let them in line. Let somebody come in that's waiting at Starbucks to pull into traffic. Who knows how long they've been there.
Not this weekend, but the next weekend. You've got Surf City, and Wednesday you're involved with that along with Heather and the rest of the staff, because it takes all of you, correct?
That's right. Yeah, this is my first year doing it, so it's going to be pretty new to me. But I'm excited to see what goes on in this event. And I mean, just like Heather said, if this was only benefiting Angels Anonymous, that'd be great too. But it's such a chain reaction that it feels good to be part of all these events for bigger reasons.
Registration taking place right now for people that want to show their cars, trucks, motorcycles, whatever, correct? And are they coming in?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many we have pre-registered. We get a lot that day, as you know.
Oh,
I mean,
yes.
The Angels team is there, helping with that and taking the day of registrations. But I think we do have quite a bit of pre-registration. I would encourage that because you want to be done and ready to go and be able to get parked right that day. And so please go online and do that pre-registration. But we do have a team ready to go. I mean, your team's there.
Okay, now Saturday you've got the car show. Sunday we got the sound off.
Yeah, and I need everybody to realize it's going to be noisy on Sunday.
It's going to be
Saturday,
noisy.
And Saturday evening.
Period.
It's going to be noisy. And every year I will get a lot of complaints, but they've gotten less and less. We really coordinate with the police department and Explore Lincoln City and the city so that when they get complaints sent to them, they also know what this event means. And people have been there to sell raffle tickets.
Tens of thousands of dollars for Angels Anonymous.
Yeah, I mean, over the years, it's an incredible fundraiser. And so anytime I get somebody who has been, who I directly talk to, whenever somebody comes to me with a problem, I ask them for the solution of that problem. And so if you're coming to me with that problem where it's so loud and why are you guys doing this? I always turn back on them and said, if you have another opportunity to raise over $20,000 for Angels Anonymous in one day from 95% visitors, we're willing to listen to your input. But until you have a solution to that, please just put on headphones, take a drive to Salem, if that is really bothering you, and just come back and know that so much money has been raised for a great cause. And they tend to just kind of calm down after that because there's no solution to that.
Both of you gals and son Paul, who is producing the show, all from Taft High School.
Yes, yeah.
That's right.
Wednesday moved.
Freshman year.
She grew up with my oldest daughter. They're still good friends. And she went away to Tucson, got her degree, and she has a master's in marketing. And we're fortunate that we were able to bring her back in. And I'm trying to get her to help out the basketball program a little bit. So that'd be fun to get her back into volunteering in our community. And that's really what is encouraging.
You were a pretty good athlete in basketball.
In every sport.
I guess it depends on who you ask.
She's like, well, sure I was.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's got a lot of talent in those areas. And she's been doing some one-on-one with my little Katybug. Not little anymore. She's driving. So if you see her let me know. But we're excited to have Wednesday volunteering in the community, and she's jumped right in.
One last question, sir, or celebration of honor.
Yeah. It is September 10th through the 13th this year. We're already starting to get some veteran services in there. This year on Thursday, we are working with the fire department. They're going to do their steps again for 9/11 at our beach access point. And the Veterans Wall that is coming from Albany, they are going to be hosting a first responders 9/11 ceremony in the tent on that Thursday. We're looking at 1 o'clock to make sure that the firefighters' steps are completed at that point. So we're excited about that addition to our event.
Heather Hatton and Wednesday Reedy from Chinook Winds Casino Resort, because it really is better at the beach.
It's better at the beach, Roger.
As we said at the beginning of the program, today kicks off the Siletz Bay Music Festival. Gala takes place tonight at the Cultural Center at 6:30. Friday, Isn't It Romantic at the Cultural Center. Saturday, the 16th, they go down to Newport for the Siletz Comes to Yaquinta concert. On Sunday, the 17th, musical tapas. On the 19th, a musical gift-free concert at the Congregational Church. And on the 20th, Sweet and Spicy. Finally, on Thursday, the 21st, it's Welcome to the Club. And this takes place at Chinook Winds. There's a whole lot more that takes place all the way through Sunday, August the 24th. It's music, 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 Paul.
Indeed. It's going to be great.
Also, Stuff-A-Bus coming up September 5. Donations are now being accepted already at the Lincoln City outlets. You can take it to your bank, to any number of organizations in and around, maybe even your church of your choice, and drop off your bags. We will have the bags out around the community. Grocery bags supplied by Kenny's IGA. And all the paperwork is stapled onto the bag, what you need to buy. That's work is done by the staff over at Washington Federal. So Stuff-A-Bus, September 5 at Lincoln City Outlets. Please help us help all of the kids of the community. Heather mentioned Celebration of Honor, September 10, 11, and 12. We also, we were talking about backpacks in the Stuff-A-Bus. Wanted to draw everybody's attention to the fact that the Sandcastle Building Contest down on Southwest 51st Street on the beach in front of Moe's raised $345 for the backpack food program, and our thanks to Moe's Restaurants for hosting and putting that together.
I think Always Traveling had a cruise ship in that.
Had a cruise ship. There was 3 cruise ships that were made. 2 of the ships went to sea.
Okay.
Got a little wet.
The little Titanic version of that one.
Correct. Also going on right now for the Backpack Food Program, we got a peanut butter drive that goes through the 15th through tomorrow, but they would accept jars of peanut butter anytime to help out the Backpack Food Program.
Yeah, I was just in the building there earlier today, and Nancy Oxenholm was showing me the big stash of peanut butter and stuff that's been collected recently now. So
Moon Over Buffalo.
Oh, yeah.
Moon Over Buffalo at Theater West. That's on stage
West
now. And tickets are available. If you'd like to reserve your seat, call 994-5661. It's Moon Over Buffalo. Delightful comedy.
Good, yeah.
From your side of the table?
Well, just a couple of events coming up still. You know, the kayaking in the daylight. I think we still got some spots there for people who want to join, get on the Salmon River. You can get a rental through Safari Town, too, as you register for that event. Saturday, August 23rd, 10 a.m. start there. And then the kayak in the moonlight on the 6th of September. So just a couple opportunities there to connect with the Biosphere region and learn a little bit about what's happening out in your own Biosphere region here in Lincoln County.
And a couple of other items from the city. August 20th at 3:30, we have the Parks and Recreation Board of Directors meeting. And then on Monday, August 25 at 6 o'clock, the City Council meeting. And happy birthday to our erstwhile mayor, Susan Walken.
Yeah, just a couple days ago, right?
Just a couple of days ago. Anything else?
That's it from here.
So that will do to the doings on the Double R Show. And again, we encourage you to please like, subscribe, and share so you, your family, and friends around the world and across the street can join us on the Double R Show. For Paul, Janet, I'm Double R. Have a happy day.
You've been listening to the Double R Show. Join Roger and Paul Robertson as they explore everything about North Lincoln County. The Double R Show, produced by Always Productions and hosted by Roger Robertson. Have a story? Email contact@alwaysproductions.com or call 458-201-3039. For The Double R Show, I'm Jana Grawn.